feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Water sports are a great summer activity and can be eco-friendly too. Avoid activities like jet skiing or water skiing, opting for activities like kayaking or paddleboarding instead. Swimming, snorkeling, and diving are great activities too, and have virtually no impact on the environment. And use sunscreen labeled Reef Safe to help protect marine wildlife. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning, Bay Area!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
It is the Pregame Show. I'm your host, Joe Spadoni. And for the next hour, we'll be breaking down the biggest storylines as it pertains to Bay Area sports. And there's no bigger right now than the San Francisco 49ers, the quarterback position, Kyle Shanahan. Oh, you can go down every single position. You can find a big storyline. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Nick Bosa's contract status. Who's going to be the number 2 to Nick Bosa? Is it going to be Drake Jackson? Is it going to be Cleve Ferrell? You can go the kicker if you want special teams. Moody. No, not Moses. But we got Jake Moody out of Michigan. Rookie kicker. Now, we're not going to start there, but we could. We'll start with one of the more highly anticipated debuts. Now, I'm not talking about my debut here on the Pregame Show. God, that was 8 months ago already? 9 months? Jeez. Time flies. But Marco Luciano with the San Francisco Giants making his debut last night as the Giants did a quick 2-game sweep of the Oakland Athletics. 8-3 was the final there, but all eyes were on Marco Luciano, top hitting prospect for the San Francisco Giants. Just called up yesterday, AAA. Number 37. Shasky and Bonte giving our guy Sam Lubman, producer and extraordinaire and host of Garlic Fries of Baseball Guys, a hard time yesterday. It was actually quite funny. Sam was getting low-key irritated. Sammy, if you're listening, I love you, buddy. But Bonte and Shasky, you can't give him number 37. That means he's going to be a bust. What famous person has ever worn 37? And then Sam just lists off all these names. That's not doing it for me. It was a fun little back and forth. Bonte and Shasky, obviously, live from the Hilton in Santa Clara, along with Steiny and Guru as well. Both those shows, again, live today from the Hilton in Santa Clara. Go say what's up if you're going to 49ers training camp. There was a couple people there yesterday. They love the attention. They might say they don't. They do. Go stroke those egos. But they're doing a hell of a job there, and shout out to them. Getting locked in training camp. I saw all the shows there. No one's more locked in on 49ers football here in the Bay Area than 95.7 The Game. It's not even close, really. Steiny Goo, Willard Dibbs, Bonte Shasky. Hell, I might even go out there. Man, who am I kidding? Live in the East Bay. I got 2 kids and a bunch of problems. Oh, my God. Got a dog, too, and the puppy. It's just a whole big mess at the Spadoni household right now. We're persevering. We're pushing through. Gave the missus some time off last night. Go get a massage. She got one. Not the best time to do it, probably at 6:30 on a Wednesday. But you know what? It's just kind of the husband I am. You know what, honey? You go do your thing. I don't even care if you come back late at 8:30 and bedtime's already ruined and my nap time's already ruined. I'm not going to say any of that. And I hope she's not listening at 5:04 a.m. I know she's not. If she is, that's more problems for me. But I digress. Good morning to all of you on Twitch, on YouTube. We are live and streaming. Search 95.7 The Game. Like, subscribe there. Ring the bell. Like the video. Rock a New Era. Appreciate you. Luis Robertson. Appreciate you. Rock a New Era. P1. Him and Ernie Chavez, probably the first two I think of when I think of people that hit us up on every platform, whether that's Twitch or YouTube, whether that's the Xfinity mobile text line, and whether that is Twitter. And you can follow me at Spadoni_Joe. But as I digress here on the pregame show, Joe Spadoni, Marco Luciano made his debut. 0 for 2. Yeah. This is okay. Gets pitch hit for in the 7th inning. Really? I couldn't have seen more of him. Although that first pitch, almost hit it out. But when you got Ramon Laureano against the wall there, making a great play, it is what it is. I just want to see more of him. I'm tired of the pitch hitting for Jock Peterson. Did I really need to see that? It's not like Jock is going to be a better, defensive replacement. And he wasn't. Brett Wisely came in after that, took over second base. Schmidt moved over to shortstop. It is what it is. But Giants, they get the sweep over the A's, a quick 2-game sweep, and they now await the Boston Red Sox, who will be coming into town starting tomorrow for a huge 3-game set. And then obviously the schedule only gets harder from there. You got the D-backs coming into town. That's not going to be easy. That's a 4-game set. Then you got another quick 2 in Oakland before heading over to Anaheim. But obviously, it's Los Angeles Angels now. Although I still contend they should be named the Los Angeles, California Angels of Anaheim. Just go all 3 names. Remember when they were doing that? The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim? And they would do LAA all the time? Or LAAA? It's like, come on, what are we doing? California Angels still sounds the coolest, but I understand in this day and age, you don't want to have a whole, state to you. Although it still works. I understand you have so many other sports teams in the state of California, but it's still unique. Because no one thinks LA and thinks of Angels. It's always going to be Dodgers. So I thought, just keep California. Works for Golden State. Hell, Shaq talks about, he's like, I don't even know where the whole Golden State was. He was playing in Oakland the whole time. Shaq didn't even know where he was. But Joe Lacob leaned into that. He could have changed it to San Francisco Warriors if he wanted to. But he realizes the value in a name like Golden State. I don't think the Angels realized the value that California Angels would have had. They could have had a whole play on the state of California. As I digress here. Going to be hard for the Giants. But good to get back on track against the team you should beat in the Oakland Athletics. 2-game sweep there as we shift over to some San Francisco 49ers talk and chalk. They're probably writing on the chalkboard. 888-957-9570 is the number if you would like to get involved. I want to hear from you if you're at training camp. What'd you see? What'd you like? What you didn't like? First day of live reps, first team reps. Brock Purdy getting the day off yesterday. So Trey Lance had the first team reps. And here's what head coach Kyle Shanahan had to say after practice on how Lance handled those first team reps.
Great. I mean, it's 3rd year calling the plays, 3rd year getting in and out of the huddle. So it's for all of them, it's always easier, but he's doing awesome at it.
And here's more from Shanahan, just recapping the first day.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was a good first day. We go real light today with the reps and just how long we're out there. So it's a pretty easy practice. My biggest thing is guys just not being too eager because everyone's so gung-ho and you don't have the pads on yet. So just trying our tails off to keep everyone off the ground. And I think we did that pretty good for the most part.
And that's the one thing, right? You don't want to go balls to the wall early, get an injury to an important key figure. That changes the whole outlook of your season. We see it time in and time out, and sometimes they're not even going hard. It's just a freak thing. I mean, that happens. Hell, I think of probably one of the more famous ones of the last few years. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, right? Just out of nowhere. What was it, ruptured Achilles? Done. Stuff like that can have a whole change in outlook of a season. So that's the one thing for the 49ers. It starts in training camp. It's health for this squad. Can this squad stay healthy all year long? Now, that's not going to happen. There's going to be bumps and bruises along the way. It's a war of attrition. It always is. If you watch the quarterback doc on Netflix, and I urge you to do so because it's great, and it's funny. They already got it renewed for season 2. And if you're unaware, the quarterback doc on Netflix, Peyton Manning runs the whole thing. He's behind all the production, all this sort of stuff. And they follow 3 quarterbacks from the previous year. They're on the field and off the field lives. Last year it was Mariota, Kirk Cousins, and Patrick Mahomes. And one of the big factors they go into with all these players are injuries and recovery and training. It's a big, big part of the doc. And Kirk Cousins dealt with some fractured ribs, ice baths, cryo chambers, the whole 9 yards. Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain. How does he recover from that? Goes through some grueling training, day in and day out. It's actually kind of cool. This is elementary school buddy. They reconnected later on in life, and now he's his personal trainer. It's a pretty cool gig. Same goes for Marcus Mariota and his personal chef, by the way. It's like his childhood friend or something, too. He's like, hey, man, go to culinary school. And then Marcus is like, oh, really? You want to be my personal chef? God, he's probably getting banked, too. Must be nice. I love cooking, but I don't think I could do it to that degree. Oh, maybe I could. It'd be a lot of, stuff you cobble together at 2 a.m., some like stoner food, but I could do it. I don't think that's what the athletes want, though. They'll probably be lethargic and look like Jamarcus Russell before you know it. 888-957-9570. Good morning, El Guero. Good morning, Nicole. Appreciate you guys chiming in on Twitch, on YouTube. Search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe. We are streaming all day right here on Twitch, on YouTube. But I say all that to say this as it pertains to injuries and going through them in the NFL. It's just part of the journey. And it's going to be something you have to deal with. And how are the 49ers going to be able to deal with it this year? Certain positions easier than others. The depth at wide receiver, tight end, offense. I have faith in Kyle Shanahan. Not to say you can replace a guy like a George Kittle, Ayuk, or Debo. No. But when one of those guys goes down, I expect another one to step up. And that's been the saving grace, if you will, of the 49ers under the Kyle Shanahan era, depth. And that's going to be something we look at when it comes to the quarterback position. Depth. Who's going to be the number 2 for this team? We know the quarterback 1. It's going to be Brock Purdy. But who's going to be that number 2 guy when/if Brock Purdy goes down? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Hell, is it going to be Brandon Allen? No, I would assume not. But I don't know with the Kyle Shanahan. This guy loves his quarterbacks. He does give me John Gruden vibes a little bit when it comes to the quarterback. And I know it's a touchy name, hot name. I'm not talking about any of that off the field crap. You know what kind of human being John Gruden is. But as it pertains to being a head coach and infatuation with quarterbacks, Shanahan's kind of inherited that a little bit. Always looking for that next one. But maybe, just maybe, he's found his one guy. He thought it was Jimmy Garoppolo. It wasn't. He thought maybe it could be Trey Lance. I don't know. Then you thought it was Brock Purdy. And you still think it might be Brock Purdy. But that's going to be the name of the game this season for the 49ers is health, and particularly at quarterback. DVDV on the YouTube chat. What are you guys talking about? Talking about the 49ers, Chief. Appreciate you chiming in, DVDV. 510. Is it Twitter or X? You're right. No, it's still called Twitter, though, right? Or is it just X? Right, tripping? Is that the whole rebranding is called X, or is that just the symbol that it's going to be called, but it's still called Twitter? Let me know. 888-957-9570. You're right. I can't wrap my head around that. 510 on the Xfinity Mobile text line. X? Follow me on X? At Spadoni_Joe. Ugh, I hate that. It's like when they moved HBO Max to just Max. No one calls it that. I'm calling it HBO Max. Or just, I'm streaming on HBO. I'm not going to call it Max. Shout out Max Keeple's big move. Those that know. Those that don't. X. Stupid. We did this whole thing on rebranding teams a couple days ago on the morning roast. Twitter did not need to be rebranded. That's one thing I didn't, but Elon Musk doing his thing, I guess. More data collecting for him. Ugh. Don't get me started. It is X. Okay. DVDV's hooking me up. Love the shout out. No, it's no longer Twitter. It's X, and tweets is now X's. It's ridiculous. It is X's. We're going to get O's next, too. Is this going to be a tic-tac-toe game? It's stupid. Let's get back to the Niners. Here's Steiny's drop my ear. Here's more from Kyle Shanahan talking about what he expected from the quarterbacks on day one.
I don't expect a lot. I expect them to show us that they haven't gotten worse while they were gone, which, they all get pretty good in OTAs, and what we're expecting and what we do today is really exactly what they did on OTA 1. So I expect them to come out and be clean on all their footwork, clean with where to go with the ball, and just show that they've been working there 40 days away. And all our guys they had a good first day, but reps weren't high, and it was pretty basic stuff, and just keep it taking it one day at a time.
Don't look like you got worse. There you go. Simple as that. It's basically shifting from like sophomore year to junior year. All right. Well, let's hope you didn't get dumber over the summer. Most of the time I did. I used to hate. They used to require, I don't know if you guys did, at 888-957-9570, but over the summer break where I went to school, I went to private school from kindergarten all the way through high school, so maybe it's different for me, but we had like a summer reading list we had to do. Nothing worse than giving a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grader or all the way through high school summer reading list. Yeah, here, read these 3 books. You're going to be tested on them in the first week back. Hit the pike, as Steiny would say. I'm not reading crap. This is my summer. And no, I wouldn't read. I would just do the Spark Notes or the Cliff Notes. How about that, Mrs. DeSantis? She was actually really nice. One of the better English teachers I had. But no, I'm not doing that. Now, for quarterbacks, it's a little different. Yeah, what were you doing over the break? Oh, just playing some Call of Duty with my guy Kyler. Not really working on my footwork. And that's not going to cut it. As we know with Trey Lance, he was working out with Patrick Mahomes in the offseason, trying to refine that throwing motion. Apparently, he's gained more touch. He's looking better. Isn't that right, Deebo Samuel?
The way the ball is coming out, he used to throw the ball kind of hard a lot. But he kind of got a great touch to his ball now. He's more comfortable. He's more relaxed back there. And he's a little bit more poised to me.
Good morning to Wyatt Yoshika. I like that name. On the YouTube chat. Never did summer readings. Always read the summaries the first day of school when we got back. Same thing as I did. Or I'd hit up my homies like, all right, hey, what's this book about real quick? Give me the big talking points. And I guess now you can probably just have like an AI summarize it for you. So it's fine. Yeah, rocking new era. Homework for summer? Hit the pike. Agreed. Miss me with that crap. What was some of the books I had to read? Lord of the Flies. It's a good book, actually. I like that one. Yes, actually, that's one of the few I read and I enjoyed, but that was also because Lord of the Flies is only like 150 pages. Pretty short. But anything that touched 200 or 300 pages, I'm out. Don't have the time. I'm playing back in the day, Call of Duty, Halo 2. I got World of Warcraft. Yeah, big nerd over here. Big nerd. Still am. Just don't have time for it. It's all sports now, so my gaming just turns into more of just streaming for sports. Speaking of which, watching the U.S. women's national team yesterday get the draw against Netherlands. Got to be better than that. Ladies, come on. We're going for the three-peat here. Draws are not going to cut it. I expect more. This is the men's where draws are okay. Draws are like wins, like going 0-0 against England on Black Friday. That was a win for the U.S. The men's side. Women, I expect domination. But the USA and the U.S. women's national team has put up in recent years. That's domination. And I expect some more of that moving forward. Sloppy yesterday. El Guero playing some GTA screw reading. There you go. I'm going to tell it to Benny. Hey, Dad, I got this homework. Hey, miss me with that. Come on, son. Grab a controller. 2v2 deathmatch. Let's go. Oh, I can't wait until I start playing video games with my son. You know what the sad part is? He's probably not even going to want to play with me. He's going to have his little buddy or friend over. He's like, Dad, please leave. Leave us alone. And to which my heart is going to sink and I'm going to go cry and sulk in the corner because my little boy doesn't want to play games with his dad. Wyatt on the YouTube chat, little to no veteran presence in the women's team, in my opinion. It's true. I mean, but you still have Alex Morgan, right? You still got Julie Ertz. You still got some of the mainstays of that team. So I expect more. That's all I'm saying. Depth is the name of the game. Isn't Dennis Rodman's daughter starting to? I saw her yesterday. Was it Trinity Rodman? I'm getting that correct. Trinity. Yes. Look at me. She is. She's feisty out there on the field. 21. Impressive. And that's the other thing, to your point. A lot of youth on this U.S. women's national team that will pay dividends moving forward, but we don't want to sacrifice the present for the future, if you will. Just a little sloppy. Pick it up. They'll get out of the group stages, no problem. And once they get to the knockout stages, that is going to be the true test. And a new coach as well, you're right. 415, Xfinity Mobile text line. Is Hope Solo on the team? No, she is not. Yikes. 510, Lord of the Flies movie was good as well. Yeah. 510, Elon Musk is a jackass. There you go. You guys are on fire this morning. Who's going out to Niners training camp? Who's already been out? 888-957-9570. Health. That's the name of the game in training camp. That's all I'm looking at. No one get hurt. And I'm always afraid if I go to like a 49ers training camp or any team's training camp, a major injury happens. It's like, man, the one time I go, it's my fault. It's my fault. Man. Here's more from Kyle Shanahan talking about some of the other big storylines. And again, talking about health, Javon Kinlaw, a guy that's been pretty disappointing. Former first-round pick out of South Carolina. You expected a lot of him. Just hasn't been able to stay on the field. Injuries. Just haven't seen it from Kinlaw so far. How's he looking, Shanny?
Kinlaw's been unbelievable, just in fact that, I mean, you guys see how he looks, and he's gone a full year with no setbacks. And so to get through OTAs with that, and then our 40 days away, it continued. And as that happens, he just keeps looking better and better. And I mean, everyone knows the specimen that he is. So now it's hopefully that can continue through training camp so we can really tie that to football. And if he can do that and stay healthy with the way he's worked and the way his talent is and his mindset, I feel it's a matter of time for him.
Just a matter of time, but we've been saying that for a while. I mean, we need some other people to step up in this D-line. Nick Bosa cannot do it all by himself, even though he was the DPOY, and he's probably going to get paid. You saw how exhausted he was against the Cowboys, against the Eagles. Drake Jackson, the rookie out of USC, getting inactives. That can't happen. And as far as the DTs, defensive tendencies, but also defensive tackles. Eric Armstead and who? You want it to be Javon Kinlaw, right? Let's see. There's a lot of sneaky big storylines for this team, and obviously football, there's big storylines wherever you can find them. None bigger than the quarterback, but if you look real hard, you can find some really good camp battles. And Javon Kinlaw, is he going to play out and show out this season? He needs to, man. He needs to. Here's more from Kyle Shanahan talking about another guy expected to have a huge year, is getting gassed up a lot, who had a huge year last year, Brandon Ayuk. How's he looking?
Just how much more he matures just as a player each year. I mean, every year he's gotten better. Brandon came in with a lot of talent. He only had 2 years in college, just coming off from JC and stuff, so he's a little raw in a couple things, especially going through that COVID year with where we really just met him on day one training camp, and then he got hurt. So he's always been trying to catch back, and each year he's done so much better. And last year I thought was the best year that he's had, and you usually know how they react to that based off the offseason. And he's been obsessed this offseason with football. You can tell he enjoys talking about it. He enjoys preparing for it, and he's truly become a pro, and the results I think will keep showing.
He's going to have a huge year. I'm just going to say it right now. 78 receptions last year, 1,000 yards, 8 tugs. I think he's getting to double-digit touchdowns this year, and I think he's going to be that dude moving forward for this team. Because eventually you can't pay everyone. They paid Deebo Samuel, and they're going to have to pay Brandon Ayuk at some point. And something's got to give there. Shout out Jack Nicholson. Something's got to give. You want to keep everyone, but that comes with, sacrifices. Think of a guy like Tom Brady. What did he have to do throughout his career? Sacrificed some of his own wealth, and, married to also one of the richest people in the world, and Gisele Bündchen. But he sacrificed his own pay so that others could stay on the team. It's going to be interesting to see how this works with all these guys due for big paydays. The Ayuks, the Bosas, Deebo already getting paid, Kittle already getting paid. And then what's going to happen at the quarterback position just if they figure out who the starting quarterback is for the next few seasons. They're hoping it's Purdy. He's QB1 going into this season. If he puts a seal on that, a stamp on it, then you have some discussions to have after this season as it pertains to him and his pay going forward, because we just saw what the top of the top's getting. Justin Herbert, he just got paid. What was that, 130-something million guaranteed, but up to 218 in total guarantees, something like that. It's a lot of money. Basically what I'm saying. Then you're going to see Joe Burrow next. You already saw Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. And if Brock Purdy is that dude that Kyle Shanahan and a lot of 49ers fans think he is, then he's going to get paid too. Maybe not to that level, but we thought that with Jimmy Garoppolo, who was at one point the highest paid quarterback in the league. And what did he do? 7 or 8 games too? So it's not the craziest thing. It's not the craziest thing. 888-957-9570. We got to take a quick break. Come on back. The biggest name in sports will not be on the trade deadline or on the trade market this season. Is that a mistake? Talk about it on the other side. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss. Are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Nothing better than Hall & Oates on a Thursday here on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni in. Gonna talk to our guy Joe Shasky. Next segment for the crossover. Bonte and Shasky live from the Hilton at Santa Clara. Yesterday and today. Going to training camp, get his thoughts, what he saw yesterday as you saw first team reps for Trey Lance as Brock Purdy was resting there. Not going to overdo it too much with Brock, but he is cleared, and they expect him to be the starter week 1. Do you? 888-957-9570 is the number again. Morning Roast, Steiny Goo live from the Hilton at Santa Clara for both of their shows today. They're going to be checking out some training camp. And if you are there, go say what's up. Go stroke the egos of our guys. They won't bite. Although, they were talking about food yesterday. And where's my drop? Sam Lubman, God bless him. He had the most evil laugh I have ever heard in my life. Sam Lubman, producer of the Morning Roast and host of Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. Go ahead and download the latest episode wherever you can find your podcast. As it pertains to San Francisco Giants, him and Joe Shasky doing a hell of a job. But they're talking about something about the soda dice, something about eating. And just take a listen real quick to Sam Lubman's evil Joker, Green Goblin. I don't know what kind of laugh it is. Listen to this thing.
How about the Sunday? You guys had the Sunday. I'm on a soda diet.
Oh. It's the stuff of nightmares right there, folks. Those Sam Lubman's laugh. It was almost like the, what was that song, Wipeout? With that laugh from the beginning. Wipeout. Wipeout. Oh, my God. Good morning to all of you on Twitch, on YouTube. We are live and streaming all day right here on 95.7 The Game. Search 95.7 The Game. Like and subscribe there. Ring the bell. And also hit us up on the Xfinity mobile text line at 888-957-9570. And finally, download that Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game along with other thousands and thousands of different shows, podcasts, and what have you. From the 408 on the Xfinity mobile text line, why don't you mention Hargrave when you were talking about the defensive tackles? It's a good point. Mainly, I was talking about depth, right? Behind the Armsteads and the Hargraves, but to your point, yes. Hargrave, massive addition, both physically and, just depth-wise for this team. He was a massive loss for the Philadelphia Eagles, too. Although the Eagles, feels like they just took that entire Georgia defense, back-to-back national championship team. It's like, yeah, we're fine. We'll just go get all these studs. Yeah, that guy Jalen Carter, who probably should have been the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. Yeah, we'll just take him at number 10 overall, whatever it was. Man. Or 8. Yeah, what was it? He traded up. Hoping he'd fall. Man. Can't wait for that game. Back in Philadelphia. Niners, Eagles. Can't wait for football. Less than 6 weeks now, right? 5 more Sundays, 6 more Sundays, whatever we got. I'm excited. And I was talking with Joe Shasky last week when I was filling in for Bonte Hill on the Morning Roast. And we were just talking about being able to talk football more than any other sport. You can talk your basketballs. There's a bunch of different storylines. You got your Damian Lillard stuff. You got Jokic partying it up in Serbia, winning horse competitions, horse racing. living his best life. He does look like, by the way, if you guys have been watching all these Joker videos, come across my X timeline, not my Twitter timeline, my X timeline. I hate that. That's the worst. Follow me on X now, at Spadoni_Joe if you guys want to. For how long that's going to go. But he's living his best life, Joker. More so than even winning that NBA championship. He's more proud of winning that horse racing title. Speaking of horse racing, RIP. Golden Gate Fields, man. Dollar Sundays will never be the same. Good times there. I did some of the Mother's Day stuff out there once. Took my mother-in-law, who loves gambling. Shout out Diana. Specifically horse racing. And we did that a couple times. They had like the dollar mimosas for Mother's Day. It was fun. Took the little guy out there. Got to see the horses. Man, it's too bad. It's too bad. RIP Golden Gate Fields. X gonna give it to you. Rockin' New Era. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. That laugh will be a soundbite number one for a long time. Oh, you mean this one? All time. I'm not sure what villain it is. It is a combination of the Green Goblin and Joker. It's up there. It's just Sam Lubman. That's what we love about him. And he's doing that in the back room constantly, by the way. That's not just some shtick. From the 925 on the Xfinity Mobile text line, discussing contracts as it pertains to the 49ers. They're going to have some big decisions here coming up as it pertains to Nick Bosa, Brandon Ayuk. If they figure out who their quarterback after this season is, they have a decision there as well. But the 925, either Debo or Christian McCaffrey will be gone after next season. They do the same things. They have to keep Ayuk. I'm inclined to agree with you. If we're picking out of those three guys, and that's what it's going to be, out of Debo, Ayuk, and Christian McCaffrey, yes. I'm keeping Ayuk and I'm keeping Christian McCaffrey. Say keeping Christian 10 times fast. That's tough. But I'm keeping those two guys. And that's not slight at Debo Samuel. No. It's just how highly I think of those two guys' games and how they're going to translate over time. Now, running backs, it's tricky. I get it. Christian McCaffrey is very unique, though. I don't view him as a typical running back as I would a Josh Jacobs type or a Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry obviously being a Hall of Famer. But what Christian McCaffrey can do out of the backfield and as a receiver changes everything and how I look at him going forward. Ayuk, as a possession receiver, I think his game is going to age beautifully. Debo Samuels, a game predicated on speed and power and physicality, scares me. We've already seen the injuries in the past, and there's nothing that would happen in the future that would not lead me to believe it's going to happen again. So, if those are the options, then yes, but we're not worrying about that right now. This season, I get it. Positive vibes only. That's just going to be something that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will have to juggle moving forward here. 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. You go to training camp. Have you been to training camp? Let me know some of the big training camp storylines that you are looking forward to the most. 888-957-9570, the number. Here's more from Kyle Shanahan talking about Brock Purdy and what he did last season and how it translates to this season.
What I can see is what Brock did in his games last year. People give him a lot of credit. They gave our team a lot of credit, but I know how good he played. And I think anybody who really sits and watches it, whether it's our teammates, whether our coaches, I mean, it was strong in the season, but it got stronger in the offseason. It's because what he put on tape was real. And that's what makes it easy, the situation we're in. Now, Trey and Sam, they have the ability to do that stuff. It is harder for them to do it in practice and to jump a guy who we've seen do it in 7 games like that. That's the harder situation. It's a sad situation I'm happy about, though. Now, maybe he has a setback. Maybe he's rusty and stuff and because of his injury and stuff. I don't know. I don't think he will be. I think he'll get back to that point. And then these other guys can play, too. Maybe he does get an injury, and Sam or Trey get an opportunity just like Brock did last year. all of this can happen to each one of them. I know the way that we all would have drawn it up because how we spent our draft picks, and that's the way it was going to go. Injuries happen, and when injuries happen, you don't really lose your job because of injury, but you give opportunities to someone else. And this guy who got his opportunity came in and did stuff on film for me, for John, for all our players. That was as good as we've seen here, and it's going to be real hard to beat out.
It's going to be real hard to beat out, and that's fair. And I think there's a huge consensus there that, listen, we saw what Brock Purdy did last year. He's done enough to earn the right to be the starter heading into week 1 this season. Absolutely. I think the conversation now is the number 2 battle. Lance v. Darnold. You want to toss in Brandon Allen? Sure. But that's the next big battle. And we're going to discuss that on the other side with Joe Shasky. With the crossover, he is live from the Hilton in Santa Clara alongside Bonta Hill, 888-957-9570. Ask him about that. And real quick, I teased it last break before I want to get to it. But per Tom Verducci, MLB Network, amongst other things, Angels are not going to shop Shohei Ohtani. In fact, feels like they're going all in as they made a trade last night for right-hander Lucas Giolito and right-handed reliever Reynaldo Lopez from the Chicago White Sox for catcher Edgar Quiero and left-hander Kai Busch, 2 of their top prospects. Sources tell ESPN that via Jeff Passan. So, Angels are going all in. Will the Giants be making a move? We shall wait. We shall see. 888-957-9570. It's the pregame show with Joe Spadoni, the crossover, next on 95.7 The Game.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Every piece of land has a story. The Upshaw's right there is with a John Deere 1 Series.
our city from its earliest days to the present. As a member, you'll receive The Argonaut, an award-winning publication that has provided in-depth historical accounts for over 30 years. And The Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni. One more segment here for you before tossing it over to the great Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Morning Roast, live from the Hilton Santa Clara for 49ers training camp. They're fired up. Got the crossover coming up here with Joe Shasky joining me. Get his thoughts on what he saw at training camp. It's toasty out there. Looked hot. Got that SPF on, Joey. No, you burn. Seeing all the Insta stories, the X's, not the tweets, the X's now. I'm going to try. I don't like it, but I'll try. Been seeing the X's of Shasky and Bonte, and they were living it up. Fans wanted to see some Bonte. They loved it. I'm telling you, if you guys are out there, Hilton Santa Clara, go say hi to these guys. They'll chop it up. Absolutely. 888-957-9570. That's the number to hit us up via the Xfinity mobile text line or not. We got Joey?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, he's here. Hey, I was watching the videos and the Instagram stories. They were loving some Bonte Hill, the fans out there, weren't they?
I must have cut out of there because him and Sam were doing some real journalism. Real journalism that was being done yesterday. We weren't asking hard questions to Shanahan or any of the players. No, we were seeing how deep is the King's Kingdom. And I don't know if you know it, it extends beyond Santa Clara.
Oh, he's the king of the seven kingdoms. He's got the reach, he's got the north, he's got the south, the east, the west. Come on, Joe. It's the Game of Thrones out here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, yesterday was a lot of fun. There was, a lot of, it's just interesting. There's so much stuff going on all at once and layers upon layers upon layers of insights for people that were looking for it. I know a lot of people go there to just rub elbows and kind of gossip. That's what it feels like. A lot of the different people show up. I'm talking about people that are reporting on the team just to kind of get a feel for what's going on because there weren't pads on, and I understand people want to diminish things. I thought there was a lot that you could take away from yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so one of the big things that you saw out there yesterday, obviously Brock Purdy taking a day off there, Trey Lance getting to work with the ones. What did you see from Trey?
Well, I just think that Trey looked a lot better in terms of, the silkiness, the smoothness, the delivery, all those things. We're going to be talking quarterbacks, I think, all year. This is not going away. This whole thing about, Brock's QB1, and yet there's no question Brock is QB1. Who do you think we're going to be watching today? Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. We're going to be looking at every little thing. And I was just thinking about it, and, it's something that I've been thinking about really long and hard after watching. I don't think the average person understands how many balls are thrown in practice by these quarterbacks. And I'm a little surprised there's not more, not speculation, not skepticism, just questions, just simple questions on, can Brock do all the drills and all the throws and everything necessary? Do you know how many throws I watched Trey Lance and Sam Darnold and booty-ass Brandon Allen throw yesterday?
Oh, be nice with Brandon Allen. Come on.
Dude, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Shanahan believes in that guy.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, I believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, too. Give me a break.
Shout out St. Nick.
Give me a break.
You weren't seeing it with him? You saw him in drills? You just didn't see it? The Brandon Allen thing's a little ridiculous, though, right? Like, come on.
No, it's not even ridiculous. We've jumped the shark. We've jumped the shark on trying to be the first at everything. Everyone has to be the first at every trough to sip at the water. And here's what I'd say. Sometimes the water's contaminated, okay? When it comes to Brandon Allen, anyone who says that Brandon Allen deserves a spot on this team over Sam Darnold and over Trey Lance literally has not watched them just throw. I'm just saying, just watch the guys throw, okay? I don't care about game footage and him backing up, Joe Burrow. The guy cannot throw the football. It's a very simple requirement for me. I cross him right off my list.
He's also 30 years old. So it's like what are we doing here?
Joey,
we were talking about this guy like, oh, he's a younger guy. He's like, no, he's 30. Been in the league for 7 years. What are we doing here?
Joe, I feel like we're wasting our time giving it oxygen.
Totally. I agree
I'm looking at a spry. The King has made an appearance, and he's wearing some sort of shorts that look absolutely incredible with a white polo. I mean, the guy's drip is on point right now.
I love it. I'm
going to start calling him Bonte the water faucet.
He needs like some sort of like cape or like the crown, and then he got the cape or whatever. What do I think of the coat, if you will, that hangs off like King John in Robin Hood?
Now he's coming back because the King has a proclamation to make. He looks spectacular right now. Like, honest to God, if Anna wasn't with him, I might be with him. He looks so good.
There you go. Sending shirtless pics a la Deebo Samuel to Kyle Shanahan. Love that.
You know this. I hope you know I'm in my bag today, okay?
Are you?
In the way that Brandon Allen was in his bag at the original mini OTAs and then didn't show up for the actual training camp, I'm in my bag for the pregame, and I might not show up for the morning roast.
Okay, respect. Like Alex Wood was in his bag yesterday for the Giants. There you go.
Break.
Big sweep. Marco Luciano.
I gotta tell you, Luciano, that was exciting. That was fun. I pulled over. I had a softball game. I pulled over and I fired up the MLB app. I had to watch it, and seeing the ovation from Giants fans and seeing him take that first swing. If you didn't lean forward and jump up in your seat, I don't think you're a real fan.
It was a good play from Laureano. I was actually hoping that he just missed it so they'd have a play at second almost. I was like, like Luciano versus Laureano. I was like, woohoo! That would have been exciting. Didn't happen. But come on, getting pinch hit 4 in the 7th inning. What are we doing? Come on.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that you say that, because I had a buddy yesterday say to me and Bonte, and he goes, okay, Giants are in a playoff series right now, a playoff series. Game 1. Can you even pencil in one starter?
Oh, God.
No, I'm serious.
Lamont Wade, right?
You sure about that?
He struck out 3 times yesterday, didn't he?
Well, if we're facing a lefty, are we sure about that? I mean, how absurd is that? You think you're a playoff team, and a fan can't even pencil in one name.
Patrick Bailey.
I don't know. What if Blake Sable? You're going up against a righty, you got to play the matchups.
No, I go defense there too, because that's going to be big in the playoffs. I will say that. Like these reps for Casey Schmidt, it was good to see him get a double yesterday.
It's funny that you say Patrick Bailey, because I said the same thing to that person, and he kind of laughed. He's like, "Are you sure?" And you know what? I mean, Joey, it's an absurd quandary they've put themselves in.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and it's interesting too. And we'll get back to football here. Obviously, the name of the game, the Morning Roast, Steiny Goo, live from the Hilton Santa Clara today. They were there yesterday. They're tapped in. Shasky, Bonte were both at training camp yesterday, along with Sam Lubman, who gave us the greatest laugh of all time.
95-7 game was there.
All of 95,
yes.
Exactly. No, even the Phillies, we got Kruger there, we got everyone there, we got JD there. Everyone
you should have
was
seen
there
it, Spadoni.
except for me.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off left and right. You should have seen it. I thought Mike Silver and Mark Willard were going to start macking on each other. I mean, I'm going back to the 90s. God. I mean, the two of them, it was like the embrace, backs to the field, gossiping the entire time. I felt like I was in the movie Gossip Girls. What is that?
That's Sam Lubman laughing.
No, that is a Batman villain. There's no way that's Sam Lubman.
I have the whole soundbite. Take a listen to this. This was Bonte, Shasky, and Sam Lubman in a little clip yesterday.
How about the Sunday?
You guys had the Sunday. I'm on the soda diet.
No way. No way.
I'm trying to determine if that's Green Goblin, Joker. What other villain with the crazy laugh is there, too? There's the Two-Face, sure, maybe. No, that's Sam Lubman, ladies and gentlemen.
He's definitely not Mr. Freeze. That's for damn sure.
Oh, Woody Woodpecker's good. Producer John, thank you. Woody the Woodpecker's good.
Woody Woodpecker is very good. Honest to God, if you told me he was in the new Flash movie and he was one of the villains, I would believe you.
There you go. Did you like that, by the way, the new Flash movie with Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton?
I'm a sucker for all of these kind of movies. They had a Supergirl or whatever in it. It was like an alternate universe type of a movie.
Okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. Got it. Yeah, then Ezra Miller, kind of a terrible person too, so I think that's why it kind of bombed, which sucks because I wanted to see Michael Keaton as Batman again, which is awesome.
Good.
Like, I felt like they should have done a whole like Batman Beyond type of thing where they had an older, Michael Keaton, and then they had like the new Batman coming out with Robert Pattinson. It is what it is. We're nerding out here. We got a minute left, Joe.
Michael Keaton's eyebrows are perfect. They're literally like triangular, so they're perfect for Batman.
Oh, he's super serious always, just because of his eyebrows. It's great. I always thought he was great as the Vulture too, in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's great, a villain as well as a hero. What is the thing you're looking for today? The number one thing you're looking for? Is it Brock Purdy? Is that the obvious?
Well, yeah, of course it's Brock Purdy, but I want to see if TDP can have another performance like he did yesterday. I thought he really raised some eyebrows. He looked good last year in camp at times. Like, you could just tell he comes from a big-time Power 5 program,
Underwhelming, though, right? Underwhelming regular season.
His regular season was horrific. I mean, I expected way more out of him, and he felt like a lost man. But when Jordan Mason fumbled, it felt like he kind of like lost favor. And then in comes TDP, and he looked real spry, and I really liked what I saw from him. Nice. I just want to see some of these wide receivers get some separation. There was a lot of people hyping up Danny Gray, and broke free on one route, and I didn't see a whole lot. I'm not impressed with Danny Gray. So maybe I just see things a little different than others, or maybe I missed something, but I definitely want to see these receivers because I feel like the defense is way ahead of the offense right now. There's not a lot of throwing lanes.
That's Joe Shasky. He's going to be live from the Hilton Santa Clara with Bonte Hill next on the Morning Roast, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the founder of California Deluxe Windows. Recently, a customer called me looking to buy a broomstick. Why would anyone call a window company for a broomstick? Because a lot of people keep their windows and sliding glass doors secured by putting a broomstick at the bottom channel. California Deluxe Windows uses steel-reinforced frames with multi-point locking mechanisms. Our night latches are made from Lexan, a nearly indestructible material used in football helmets. With California Deluxe Windows, you get premium safety features, and our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips. We wouldn't crack one.
Get 30% off your entire order.